Hello AP Biology students, we're going to go over the 10th section in Unit 6. And in this section, we're going to wrap up our content about mutations by talking about chromosomal mutations. Remember that chromosomal mutations are changes in the chromosome that are on a larger scale than point mutations. And since they are a larger mutation, they're going to have a more drastic effect on an individual. Now, typically I go over an example of each one of these types of mutations, but just for simplicity, I'm just going to go over what happens in each one of these chromosomal mutations. And the great thing about this section is the names of the mutations sound like what they do. I know in science it's not always the case, but it's pretty close here. In a duplication mutation, part of the chromosome is repeated. You can see our chromosome A through F here. Part B is repeated. So a chromosome will have extra DNA that it really shouldn't have. It might not sound bad to have extra DNA in a chromosome, but this extra DNA can cause problems. Our next type of chromosome mutation is called a deletion mutation, where part of the chromosome is lost. You can see in our original chromosome, part B is lost. This again can create problems in an individual because part of their chromosome is just missing. In an inversion mutation, part of the chromosome is flipped around. You can see in our original chromosome, we have A through F. However, part of that chromosome is flip-flopped. Depending on how much and where the chromosome is mutated can cause problems in individuals. Our next type of chromosome mutation is called an insertion mutation. This is where part of a chromosome is removed from one chromosome and added to another. So you can see here our original chromosome has capital letters and our second chromosome has lowercase letters. And you can see that part E of the capital letter chromosome is shifted over to the other chromosome. Now, originally it might not seem like this is a big deal because again, we have all of the DNA. However, this can have major ramifications for how gene expression occurs in cells. And lastly, we have something called translocation, where chromosomes are going to flip-flop genetic information. This kind of sounds like crossing over, but it's not because they're not homologous. You can again see our two different types of chromosomes, and you can see how they flip-flop that genetic information.